Why are Ethiopians fleeing Saudi Arabia? A combination of factors, including poverty, drought, conflict, and serious human rights abuses have driven hundreds of Ethiopians to leave their country and migrate over to other prosperous countries. However, lots of countries will not accept illegal entry or overstayers. As in the case in Saudi Arabia, illegal overstayers are met with a mandatory prison sentence followed by swift deportation. Saudi Arabia, like all the other Arab states in the Persian Gulf, is not a signatory to the 1951 United Nations Refugee Convention, which mandates member states to protect refugees within their country. Please take a listen at this video.
Ethiopia will repatriate some 70,000 of its nationals living in Saudi Arabia starting early April. State Minister Birtukan Ayano said the repatriation, the third such program since 2018, will target Ethiopians who are in a difficult situation. During the announcement last week, the minister did not specify whether the returnees have been living in Saudi Arabia legally. Regional administrations are expected to ensure the returnees resettle in their native home areas. According to government dispatch, repatriation expenses will include flight tickets, temporary holding at transition centers in Addis Ababa, and some money to restart life. Ethiopia currently hosts about 917,000 refugees from neighbouring countries such as Yemen. Data from the Ethiopian Refugees and Returnees Service also estimates that 4 million Ethiopians have been displaced due to the nation's own conflict and environmental hardships. There have been funding cuts made for these groups, however. In March 2022, Addis Ababa struck a deal with Riyadh to repatriate over 100,000 of its nationals. Rights groups accused Saudi Arabia of mistreating foreign laborers.
Ethiopia has actively working to repatriate its citizens from Saudi Arabia. Let us take a look at the background. Saudi Arabia has been forcibly returning hundreds of thousands of Ethiopian migrants who were arbitrarily held in inhuman and cruel conditions, due to their lack of valid residency documents. This situation was exacerbated by Saudi Arabia's abusive kafala system. The abuse faced by these migrants has led to serious long-term physical and mental conditions. Amnesty International has called upon Saudi authorities to investigate cases of torture and at least 10 deaths whilst in the custody. Recent developments. Ethiopia has decided to repatriate some of its citizens living in difficult conditions abroad. Ethiopia plans to reintroduce thousands of its citizens back to the country, with the repatriations beginning as early as April 2024. Repatriation expenses will include flight tickets, temporary holding at transition centers in Addis Ababa. Also, return fare to travel back to their native regions will be paid, along with some money to restart life. The third phase of repatriation aims to bring back 70,000 Ethiopian nationals from Saudi Arabia. The government of Ethiopia is working hard to make sure that all its currently stranded Ethiopians are safely brought home. This effort is so crucial in ensuring the well-being and rights of these individuals who face challenging circumstances while working abroad. Ethiopia's commitment to supporting its citizens during this process reflects the importance of human rights and compassion in international relations. Repatriated Ethiopians will definitely encounter some issues when they return to Ethiopia. They are going to encounter challenges as they return to their home country. There is going to be adjustment and reintegration, culture shock. Returning to Ethiopia after living abroad can be a culture shock. The environment, social norms, and daily life may differ significantly from what they are used and experienced in the host country. Also, a language barrier. So, some repatriated individuals may struggle with language barriers, especially if they were away for an extended period. Some may find that communicating effectively in their native language can be challenging. Rebuilding social networks and reconnecting with family and friends can be emotionally demanding. Economic challenges. Many repatriated Ethiopians face unemployment upon returning. Lack of job opportunities can lead to financial strain. Some migrants had stable jobs abroad, and returning home means losing that income source. They may struggle to find equivalent employment opportunities. Health and well-being. Physical health. Migrants often face health issues due to harsh living conditions or inadequate health care abroad. Returning home, they may need medical attention and support. Mental health. The stress of migration, deportation, and readjustment can take a toll on mental health. Depression, anxiety, and trauma are common challenges. There is also going to be a social stigma attached being repatriated. Repatriated individuals may experience stigma from their communities due to their migration history. They may be seen as failures or outsiders. Some may face discrimination based on their ethnicity, gender, or other factors. Legal documentation issues. Repatriated Ethiopians need proper documentation, and legal status is essential to get access to services such as education, healthcare, and housing. Navigating bureaucracy in Africa can be daunting. Returning home may lead to an identity crisis as they reconcile their experiences abroad with their Ethiopian identity. Family and community expectations. Families and communities may have high hopes and expectations of repatriated individuals. Pressure to succeed or provide financial support can be overwhelming. Despite these challenges, many repatriated Ethiopians bring valuable skills, experiences, and resilience back to their communities. Supportive policies, community program, and awareness can help ease their transition and promote successful reintegration. The Ethiopian government can provide crucial support to repatriated citizens by implementing targeted policies and programs, such as job training and placement. Offer vocational training programs to enhance skills and help repatriated individuals to find employment. Collaborate with private sectors and NGOs to create job opportunities. Entrepreneurship support. Provide resources for starting small businesses. Microfinance initiatives can empower repatriated citizens to become self-reliant. Another important point is addressing education and literacy. Offering literacy and numeracy programs for those who missed out on education while abroad. School enrollment. Facilitate the enrollment of repatriated children in schools. Ensure their smooth transition into the education system. Social support. Community integration. Organize community events to welcome repatriated individuals. Foster a sense of belonging and acceptance. Create support groups where returnees can share experiences and coping strategies. LTS explore some of the inspiring successes related to the repatriated Ethiopians so far. After forced repatriation of 163,000 Ethiopian migrant workers from Saudi Arabia in 2013, the International Labour Organization collaborated with the Ethiopian government to ensure smooth reintegration of returnees. Key interventions include psychosocial support to returnees through shelter, food, medical services, and counseling. The project is aimed at improving labor migration governance and assisting returned migrants in securing productive employment and decent work. Another important point worth mentioning is the voluntary return of 76 refugees from Kenya to Ethiopia. In February 2020, a group of 76 Ethiopian refugees voluntarily returned home from Kenya's Kakuma camp. This marked the first major voluntary repatriation program for Ethiopian refugees in the country. The initiative facilitated their safe return to Ethiopia. The success stories demonstrate the importance of coordinated efforts, community engagement, and targeted programs in facilitating the return and reintegration of Ethiopian citizens. Ethiopia's repatriation experience offers valuable lessons for other countries facing similar challenges. Here are some key takeaways. Holistic approach. Comprehensive planning. Countries should develop well-thought-out repatriation plans that address various aspects, including legal, social, economic, and health. Collaboration. Involve multiple stakeholders such as the government agencies, international organizations, and local communities. Cooperation ensures a holistic approach. Community involvement. Engage the communities in welcoming returnees. Foster understanding and acceptance. Thank you all for your time. I do appreciate you all for the support. Please subscribe and share with your friends. Catch you in the next one.